Have you ever heard of a place where time seems to flow differently? Surrounded by towering mountains and forests that stretch as far as the eye can see. Between India and China lies a small country that stands out for its exceptional commitment to the environment. That nation is Bhutan, or Druk Yul, the famous land of the Thunder Dragon. Bhutan's territory is about the same size as the U.S. state of Maryland, but it holds an extraordinary power. Its conservation policies ensure that it absorbs more carbon than it emits. Very few countries can claim this achievement, and the secret lies in the careful preservation of its forests, which cover more than 70% of the land. That's why many see Bhutan as a true green lung for the planet. This commitment to nature is deeply connected to the country's culture. In Bhutan, storms rolling in from the Himalayas are so intense that they even inspired the country's name. Its flag features a white dragon clutching a jewel, and locals say the rains seem to chase it, like bursts of energy from the mountains. That dragon symbolizes the harmony and prosperity that the Bhutanese people believe can be found in every corner of their land. Even though Bhutan is one of the smallest countries in Asia, it stands out for its unique balance between tradition and modernity. Have you ever heard of a place with fewer people than San Francisco, but proudly holds the title of the happiest country in the world? That's Bhutan, a small Asian nation nestled in the Himalayas. Around 800,000 people live there, divided into three main ethnic groups: Thangalap, Sharchap, and Lhotshampa. While some might think the language barrier would make this population feel isolated, most Bhutanese speak English surprisingly well, in addition to their native language, Dzongkha. Local culture revolves around Buddhist values which strongly shape how people see life. This spirituality is reflected in a simple daily routine, marked by peace and a deep connection to religion. Even though Bhutan is a remote country, it catches people's attention with its unique blend of a calm lifestyle and an openness to the world, something clearly seen in how easily locals communicate in English. Have you ever wondered how a small kingdom with limited resources and a high illiteracy rate could earn the title of the happiest country in the world? That place exists, and it's called Bhutan. Nestled in the Himalayas, Bhutan measures its progress not by GDP, but by gross national happiness, GNH, a completely different way of looking at development. In Bhutan, people have a deep connection with nature, with over 70% of the country covered in forests. This environmental care keeps the air clean and strengthens the overall sense of well-being. Most of the population practices Buddhism, values compassion, and believes in karma, which helps keep conflicts to almost zero. It's not uncommon to see members of the royal family taking part in simple daily activities alongside locals, without any special treatment or privileges. These values create an atmosphere of peace, with almost no crime and a strong sense of community. The result is a way of life focused on balance and harmony, making Bhutan one of the happiest places on Earth. In Bhutan, often called the happiest country in the world, there's a unique marriage tradition that surprises many visitors. Men can have more than one wife, and women can have more than one husband. While this might seem unusual to outsiders, for Bhutanese people, it's just a normal part of life. When a woman chooses to marry multiple husbands, only the first one is officially recognized. Still, she remains at the center of the family. Typically, after marriage, the husbands move into her home, and if they separate, they are required to compensate her. This practice helps protect women's rights and highlights the important role women play in Bhutanese society. In everyday life, women in Bhutan hold positions of respect and influence. It's common to see them chatting and laughing late into the night on the streets, without the restrictions often found in other cultures. This freedom gives them a confidence that leaves a strong impression on visitors from all over the world. What makes them admirable isn't designer clothes or fancy jewelry. It's their independence and the genuine joy they bring to everything they do. Even though it's possible to have more than one spouse in Bhutan, that doesn't mean there's a flood of foreigners rushing to get married there. The local culture is highly protected, and the rules make it pretty complicated for outsiders to marry Bhutanese citizens. So if you're dreaming of a life with multiple partners in Bhutan, you might want to do some serious research before getting your hopes up. Want to know why? Drop a comment with the word Bhutan, and we'll spill all the details. Few leaders spark as much interest as Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, the current king of Bhutan. He stands out not just for his way of ruling, but also for his love story with Jetsun Pema, who became queen at just 21 years old. Together, they've captured global media attention for their harmonious relationship and their choices, which break away from some local traditions. In Bhutan, men are allowed to have more than one wife. However, King Jigme made it clear that he would remain committed to just one partner. This decision turned the couple into a symbol of loyalty and dedication, deepening the admiration many people feel for them. Their story began in the most simple and unexpected way. At the time, Jetsun Pema was only 7 years old when she met the young crown prince, who was 17. She ran up to him, hugged him, and in an innocent but determined tone said that one day she would marry him. That unforgettable moment, even though it started with a little girl's dream, ended up marking the beginning of what would become a true fairy tale. Do you believe that a connection formed at such a young age could really turn into one of today's most inspiring love stories? Tucked away in the Himalayas, this country has just one international airport, Paro, located about 35 kilometers, 22 miles, from the capital Thimphu. With a short runway surrounded by mountains, both takeoff and landing are tricky, requiring pilots to have a special certification. Every flight turns into an adventure of its own. If you're coming by land, the only way in is through India, with the most common route running from Phuentsholing Holing to Thimphu. Along the way, you'll witness breathtaking Himalayan landscapes. But it's more than just scenery. Bhutan is known for its deep commitment to preserving its culture. To maintain harmony between nature and spirituality, the country strictly controls the number of visitors. That's why you can't just show up. The government requires every tourist to book a package with a local agency, ensuring an experience that respects Bhutanese traditions. It's a destination that takes some planning, but for those willing to take on the challenge, the rewards are truly one of a kind. In Bhutan, every international tourist pays a sustainable development fee of $100 per night. This fee is part of the country's high-value, low-impact tourism policy and is charged on top of accommodation, guides, and other travel expenses. The goal is to ensure that tourism is managed responsibly, helping to protect the culture, environment, and local way of life. Bhutan is known for doing things in its own unique way. There, you won't find traffic lights at intersections. Instead of electronic signals, traffic police stand in the streets directing drivers and pedestrians. This is the complete opposite of cities like New York or London, where automated signals are just part of daily life. In the capital, Thimphu, there was actually an attempt to install traffic lights, but it lasted only 24 hours. People missed the personal interaction they were used to with traffic officers and asked to bring back the traditional system. Today, Bhutan remains famous for this quirky detail. Traffic flow is managed by people, not machines. This choice reflects a deep cultural value that prioritizes human connection and direct interaction. Many tourists are surprised to see how well this system works in a place where life moves at a different pace compared to busy urban centers. Do you think this unique way of managing traffic could work in other parts of the world? In Bhutan, there's a custom that might surprise outsiders: refusing food the first time it's offered. It may seem strange, but this gesture is actually a sign of humility and respect. No one accepts a dish right away. Instead, they say "meshu meshu," no, while covering their mouth with their hand. After 2 or 3 refusals, it's finally time to accept the food. This practice helps maintain harmony in relationships and reflects the care Bhutanese people put into their interactions. In many places, turning down food might be seen as rude, but in Bhutan, it's part of a ritual that reinforces hospitality and values human connection. This tradition is a great example of how different cultures find unique ways to express kindness and consideration, sparking curiosity about the many ways people relate to one another around the world. A country where McDonald's or Starbucks can't find a foothold might seem far from our reality. But in Bhutan, these brands don't stay out because of taxes or restrictions. It's simply because there's no market for them. According to businesswoman Choki Wangmo, if these chains tried to set up shop there, they'd likely close down quickly due to a lack of demand. With a population of around 800,000 people, smaller than many cities in the US, Bhutan follows a different path from the consumer trends we're used to. In this small kingdom, happiness, harmony, and preserving natural resources matter more than big international franchises. The result? A place that stands out for its culture and the way its people choose to live, far from the pull of global brands. In Bhutan, everyone has access to free health care, whether it's for medication or more complex treatments. The government gives patients the freedom to choose their care and provides all the necessary support. If someone needs to travel to another country for medical resources that aren't available locally, all transportation and treatment costs are fully covered. While private healthcare services can be expensive in many parts of the world, Bhutan has no private hospitals. Everything is centrally managed, ensuring the same standard of care for people in both rural and urban areas. This system reflects the country's strong commitment to taking care of every citizen, regardless of income or location. In Bhutan, opening a bank account online just isn't a thing. Instead of logging into a website or app, people have to visit a physical branch to take care of any financial matters. Forget about scheduling virtual meetings or sending instant messages to your bank manager. Everything is handled over the phone or through face-to-face conversations. In this corner of the world, life moves at a different pace, without the rush of the digital age. Unlike the fast-paced routines in countries like the US or across Europe, Bhutan preserves a slower, more deliberate way of doing things. This unique approach creates an atmosphere where technology isn't the priority, and every process happens in its own time. In the heart of the Himalayas, there's a small kingdom known for its vibrant and deeply traditional celebrations. Here, every festival is called a Sechu, and it plays a fundamental role in Bhutanese culture. During these festivities, men wear the go, and women wear the kira, honoring customs that have been passed down for generations. Among all the festivals, Paro Sechu is the most famous. Every spring, for 5 days, people from all over Bhutan gather at Paro Dzong, an imposing fortress built in 1644 in honor of Guru Rinpoche, the master who introduced Buddhism to the country. Amidst traditional songs and dances, the highlight of the event is when a giant thangka, a sacred Buddhist painting, depicting Guru Rinpoche, is unrolled on the monastery wall. This sacred image represents a collective prayer for peace and forgiveness, connecting everyone to a profound sense of spirituality. Another remarkable celebration is the Jambe Lakang Drup, held in an ancient temple along the Bumthang Chu River. This festival features the fire dance, Mewang, and the naked dance, Ter Cham, both believed to drive away bad luck and attract positive energy. Late at night, men dance under the flickering light of a bonfire, creating a mesmerizing and unforgettable scene, one that becomes a cherished memory for anyone lucky enough to witness it. Known as one of the highest capital cities in the world, Thimphu sits at 2,334 meters, 7,657 feet, above sea level, right in the heart of Bhutan. Although relatively small, it offers visitors a truly unique experience. Just walking through the streets reveals a different kind of atmosphere, one shaped by peaceful monasteries, impressive fortresses like Tashicho Dzong, and vast green spaces that seem to embrace the city. Even though Thimphu is Bhutan's largest city, with around 100,000 residents spread across just 26 square kilometers, 10 square miles, it still manages to maintain an incredible sense of calm. This peaceful vibe is strengthened by the strong cultural and spiritual presence of Buddhism, which can be seen not only in its grand monuments, but also in the way people care for stray animals. Dogs, for example, are treated with such kindness that many call them the happiest in the world. One of the city's most awe-inspiring sights is the Buddha Dordonma statue, standing over 50 meters, 164 feet, tall, covered in gold, and facing south like a guardian watching over the region. And when it comes to local culture, the National Library stands out for housing one of the largest books in the world, a massive 60-kilogram, 132-pound volume that reflects the Bhutanese people's deep respect for knowledge. Get ready to explore a destination that blends culture and nature in an unforgettable way. Nestled in the heart of the Himalayas, Bhutan captures the attention of those seeking authentic experiences in breathtaking mountain landscapes. Even without access to the sea, the country offers sceneries that captivate visitors from start to finish, creating a deep connection with its people and traditions. One of the most iconic landmarks is the Paro Taktsang Monastery, also known as the Tiger's Nest. Perched on a cliff nearly 3,000 meters, 9,800 feet above sea level, it attracts both pilgrims and adventure seekers. The hike up is a challenge. It takes about 3 hours and includes climbing 850 steps. But once you reach the top, the view makes it all worth it, revealing dense forests, cascading waterfalls, and clouds that seem to brush against the mountains. Continuing the journey, the Pobjika Valley offers a rare connection with untouched nature. Surrounded by ancient forests and blooming rhododendrons, visitors can immerse themselves in local life and even try ara, a traditional rice wine often enjoyed during celebrations. Every turn along the way holds surprises that bring travelers closer to Bhutan's cultural roots. Another must-visit spot is the Dachala Pass, where sunrise and sunset paint a truly breathtaking landscape. But beyond its beauty, this place serves as a memorial to the heroes who lost their lives in past conflicts. The history of Dachala Pass reflects the courage and unity of the Bhutanese people, something that can be felt in every corner of the country. For those looking to experience tranquility and deepen their connection with local culture, Bhutan is a true sanctuary. Every trail, conversation, and encounter with locals has the potential to change the way you see the world. If you're searching for places that go beyond traditional tourism, this hidden kingdom in the Himalayas invites you to soak in every moment of the journey. Living in Bhutan offers an interesting mix of tranquility and affordability. In the capital Thimphu, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically costs around 9,691.74 ngultram, about $130 per month. In more remote areas, rent drops to about 6,220.14 ngultram, $83. Monthly utilities, including electricity, water, heating, and garbage collection for an 85 square meter, 915 square feet space, come to around 3,500 ngultram, $47, while internet costs vary depending on the provider and chosen speed. If you prefer eating out, a simple meal costs no more than 250 ngultram, $3.25. But for those who enjoy cooking, local markets offer a good variety of fresh food at reasonable prices. Public transportation includes monthly passes, and taxi fares remain fairly affordable compared to Western countries. Other expenses like gym memberships average around 2,000 ngultram, $26, and healthcare, including dental treatments, is far cheaper than in the US. At the end of the day, the monthly cost of living for one person can reach around 96,397 ngultram, approximately $1,250, which is about 66% less than the average cost in the US. This combination of affordable living, rich culture, and breathtaking landscapes makes Bhutan an intriguing option for those seeking a different lifestyle. Would you consider moving there? Drop a comment and share your thoughts. In the heart of the Himalayas, there's a place where chili peppers aren't just a seasoning. They're the star of the cuisine. In Bhutan, chilies show up in almost every dish, from stews to salads, giving people not just flavor but also warmth to battle the harsh mountain cold. Outside homes, strings of red chilies dry under the sun, ready to be used year-round. The most famous dish? Imadachi, a bold combination of local cheese and fiery chili peppers that creates a one-of-a-kind meal. Every bite delivers a powerful mix of heat and creaminess, proving why chili peppers have become a national symbol. For those who prefer something milder, there are other options on the menu. One standout is kuli, a type of pancake made from buckwheat, barley, or corn, usually served with butter or honey. This light and nutritious dish offers a welcome break from the intense spiciness that dominates Bhutan's unique food culture. For those who prefer milder flavors, Josh Amaru is a light yet well-seasoned chicken stew, while Zhao Shungo offers a flavorful vegetable fried rice that skips the intense chili but still packs a punch. Then there's Suja, the famous butter tea, which surprises many with its salty and creamy taste, perfect for cold mountain days. These dishes prove that Bhutanese cuisine has something for everyone, whether you love bold flavors or prefer something more subtle. With so many options, Bhutan stands out as a unique and diverse food destination, full of character. That wraps up our tour of 15 fascinating facts about Bhutan, and we hope every detail has sparked your curiosity about this incredible place. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to follow our channel, leave a like, and share to help us keep bringing you more amazing facts. See you in the next video.